This is the Equine Forum.
And in the second hour of the show, Sophia Mangalee, who is with Monmouth Park, she does a lot of their marketing and communications at Monmouth. She is training for next year's Mongol Derby. She's going to ride in next year's Mongol Derby. Now, this is the longest horse race in the world, 1,000 kilometers. And if I'm not mistaken, I think a kilometer is just shy of a mile. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is. And if that's the case, what are you looking at me like that for, Neil? Am I right? Just a little bit shy of a mile? 1,000 miles, 900 and something miles. We'll ask her exactly how long it is, but this is incredible. We'll talk to her in the second hour of the show. So 1,000 kilometers is the distance of the Mongol Derby. And Sophia Mangalee, who is the marketing and communications coordinator at Monmouth Park, is training to ride in this 1,000-kilometer race. I can't even imagine what that has to be like.
Yeah, I don't even know how you'd get ready for it. What do? You go down to some cowboy bar and get on a mechanical bull and just sit there for like 3 days?
I don't know. I had read somewhere, I think maybe it was her own Facebook page or something, that Gold's Gym had given her like a membership or something so she could actually train the right way. But we're going to ask her because she's here with us now here on the Equine Forum on the Horse Racing Radio Network, Sophia Mangalee. Sophia, how are you doing this? 1,000 kilometers.
Well, it certainly gives new meaning to the word saddle sore.
Put this and translate this for us. I thought, and I could be wrong, that a kilometer is just a little bit shy of a mile. Is that right?
It's about it. The easiest way to figure it out is, a 5K is about 3.1 miles. So 1,000 kilometers translates to about 630 miles.
Oh, okay. All right. So not as long
as the kicker. They give it to you as the crow flies, and you guarantee that you're not going to be traveling as the crow flies. So you get a couple extra miles in there.
Well, how did you come about getting involved with this and being selected, I guess, or is it a selection process? How does this all come about for the Mongol Derby?
Well, it is a selection process. I actually found out about it when I went to equidaily.com. And as you know, they have great headlines from around the world with weird and wacky things related to horse racing. And there was a press release from the American that won it this past year. And I was starting to look at it. I was like, God, this looks interesting. And I let it marinate for about a week. And then I was like, oh, man, I just have to apply. And, there's no chance I'll get in. But if I don't apply, then I'll just feel horrible. So I did apply, and they called me and interviewed me. The company's based out of the UK. And then they also called my reference, which was Sharon Ross, who's a racehorse trainer out of Emerald Downs in Seattle. Checked my credentials, and then called me back and offered me a spot.
Wow, that's just amazing. And for people that aren't familiar with Mongolia, fill us in on the terrain that you're going to have to ride over, and fill us in on the location of Mongolia.
Well, it was funny. At first, when I asked my husband if I could do this, I didn't get much of a response, and I was like, gosh, he's taking this pretty well. And I was like, do you know where Mongolia is? And he's like, no. I'm like, it's right between Russia and China. And about that time, he's like, oh, we need to double your life insurance. And, but, the country there is just beautiful. Horses outnumber people 7-1. It's a place where you can go and ride 630 miles, and you're not going to see a single fence. And if you see a road, it's going to be a dirt track. It's very, parts of it are mountainous. Parts of it are desert. Most people think Mongolia and they think of the Gobi Desert, but that's actually in the south. I'm going to be more in the north, around the capital of Ulaanbaatar. And the other challenge is, too, is it's in August, and it's going to be about 90 degrees during the day, but it drops to about 40 at night.
Ooh.
So being able to handle the swinging temperatures, just because it's such wide open space, there's very few trees. It's just, the elements hit you that much harder, the rain and the hail and the wind. And I think one of the girls last year got sunstroke, so that's a concern.
What about your horse? Now, do you use Arabian horses for this?
No, actually, we use, quote, semi-wild Mongolian ponies. Oh. And these are horses that were bred there and raised there, and they're actually direct descendants of the original, was it Przewalski horse, that actually can still be seen in the wild in Mongolia. So if you compare it to horse that we know. I mean, it's a good comparison to the Mustang. Small, hardy, feet like iron, and wily as a fox.
Are you assigned one luck of the draw, or is there a pecking order, or
In a way, there is. When you first get to the start line, everybody draws straws, and that's your first horse. And then every 40 kilometers, you actually pick up a new horse, and you're reenacting the postal system of Genghis Khan, which actually was in place in Mongolia until about the 1960s. So it hasn't been gone that long. And when you get to the new horse station, the first rider in gets pick of the herd, and then they throw their tack on that horse and take off. So the horses are always fresh, not necessarily the rider.
Mm-hmm. Do you get PPs on these horses to let you know, or do you just pick out the one you like the best? I mean, is there a list of who's fast, who's slow, or you just pick one you like?
Yeah, you pick one you like. The winner last year said that if you have an eye for horse flesh, it helps a lot, because some people were picking like these nice, fat, shiny ones, and they tended to be a bit slower just because they were carrying more weight. And there are horses that are legitimate race horses, and they're marked by a blue ribbon on their bridle. So I'll be going for those ones first.
All right.
Talking with Sophia Mangalee. She's training for the 2011 Mongol Derby in Mongolia, obviously. Sophia, how many riders, what's the competition like? How many riders are in this race? How big's the field?
There's 25 riders, and they're selected from around the world.
Sheikh Mo, is he in there? I know Sheikh Mo's a big endurance guy. Is he in here?
We've got the guy that won it last year is also trying to get into it again this year.
All right, and you said he was from the United States, right?
Yeah, he's from Texas, and he is an endurance rider, which they said that the endurance riders tend to have a leg up on everyone because they're used to riding those long distances.
Yeah, how do you go about training for an event like this? I mentioned, am I right when I said Gold's Gym actually gave you a membership there so you could train? How do you go about training?
Yeah, Gold's Gym came on as a sponsor, gave me a membership. So, in the winter months when I can't get outside too much, I'll be able to, hang out in the gym and pump some iron. But as far as just getting in shape, it's just a lot of practical application. I'm a marathon runner, so do some running. I figure that'll bode well for me if I fall off and lose my horse and have to run after it. And then just getting some time in the saddle. Because I work here at Monmouth Park, I'm hoping that in the mornings next summer I can get out in the morning and, gallop a few race horses, and then after work go to a farm and get on some out there and just spend some more time in the saddle. I've been volunteering at some endurance rides so I can get in with that scene and hopefully catch the mounts there. But the winner, he said that if you can just get out and be active for 14 hours a day. And I'm like, 14 hours? Geez, I'm not even up by 6 a.m. So I think that's the biggest challenge.
I suggested before you came on the air that maybe you should go to one of those mechanical bull joints and just stay on the mechanical bull for 4 straight days. That would probably do it. You'd probably have the right feel.
It's a good suggestion. I would say I probably don't even need the mechanical bull because I've got race horses, so it's all in the same.
What's the date of the Derby next year, Sophia, and when will you actually go over?
It's August 6th through August 16th. They give you 10 days to complete the 630 miles. If you want to win, you're probably aiming for 7 or 8 days. And then you actually have to be there 3 days ahead of time for the pre-training, and that's where they, show you such useful skills as how to reset your own femur, how to call in the medical team, all that stuff that you need to know on a daily basis when you're in Mongolia. And hopefully I'll be able to get a flight that actually leaves the night of the Haskell, because obviously I can't miss Monmouth Park's biggest day in order to have my big race.
No, come on. The Haskell or the Mongol Derby? Give me a break. The Haskell's like nothing compared to the Mongol Derby.
Well, it's a little shorter.
A little.
Yeah, we think 1.5 miles is a long race in this country, huh? How about 630 miles?
Yeah.
All right, Sophia Mangalee has been our special guest here this morning on the Equine Forum. Sophia, we want to wish you all the best as you train, and if you want to call in with an update as we get closer to the event next year, you're certainly more than welcome on this show, and we're going to look forward to being back up there at Monmouth for the Haskell again on the Horse Racing Radio Network, but would love to talk to you as you get closer to the Mongol Derby and make your preparations there.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. And do you mind if I give a shout-out to a couple of my sponsors?
No, go right ahead.
Oh, well, ExpressBet, they're my gold level sponsor. They're fabulous. Love them. Sitting Duck Restaurant, the University of Arizona Racetrack Industry Program, which I believe is where you heard about this.
Yes, it is.
Emerald Downs just came on this week, and I think you know that that's where I got my start in racing, so
Yep.
I love them. And then the Asbury Park Press and Wedge Mountain Winery have been really supportive. So without them, I could not do it because it's quite an expensive endeavor.
What do you need to do to be a sponsor? What are you looking for?
Well, I set it up. I'm a marketing girl, so I set it up as an advertising opportunity for people and a promotional opportunity. So I've got the information up on my website. If people want to make personal contributions, they can go to MongolDerbyRider.com. That's actually my blog. And there's also room there for them to make personal contributions. And then if sponsors want to reach out to me, they can do so directly by email.
Well, you're talking our language now, Sophia, because obviously the entire horse racing radio network is supported by sponsorship, so I know what you're going through, and anything we can do to help you on that front, we certainly will. MongolDerbyRider.com.
That's it.
Right, and when you're in Asbury Park, go over to the Brick Wall Tavern and talk to Kyle and Meg and tell them what you're doing and tell them Jude said that they need to be a sponsor.
Pony up.
Hey, I'm a regular at the Brick Wall. They're the only place that has purple haze.
Okay, well, did you talk to Kyle and Meg? Tell them that Jude said you need to be a sponsor, and they'll hook you up. They'll put a badge on your shirt or whatever they need to do.
Very good.
All right, Sophia, thanks for taking the time here this morning. It's been great having you on board, and best of luck here in your training, and have a wonderful Christmas and a very happy New Year.
Same to you guys. Thanks so much.
All right, Sophia Mangalee from Monmouth Park, again, training for that Mongol Derby in August of next year, 630 miles. I thought that was cool, Jude, that when you get to the checkpoint, if you're the first one to the checkpoint, you get your pick of the entire herd of which one you want to grab next and go on with.
Yeah, it's almost like the Amazing Race.
Yeah.
You are the first team to arrive. I am sorry to tell you, you have been eliminated from the race.
Did she say they teach you how to reset your own femur?
That's exactly what she said.
Did I write that down correctly when she said that?
Yeah, that's exactly what she said. That's why I suggested the mechanical bull, because, it's not going to be like hopping on Old Blue, I think some of these horses are going to be a little crazy, but it's very admirable. It's very cool.
Yeah, she said they're wild horses, right? Basically, or semi-wild horses, I guess.
Right. Yeah, semi-wild.
Reset your own femur.
All horses are semi-wild.
That just doesn't sound appetizing. Once she said that, I lost interest in, ever having an attempt to go over and do the Mongol Derby. I lost all my
it's
motivation.
All you can do to keep the golf ball between the lines.
Then why do you have to bring golf up? Yeah, maybe that's what I should ask for.
Because you're going to bring up the Steelers later.
I know what I want for Christmas, by the way.
What do you want?
Golf balls are fine.
Balls.
Pinnacle Golds.